Now I'm joined by California Democratic Congresswoman Zoe Lofgren, who is a member of the January 6th committee. It's good to see you. And, you know, there's just so much else happening related to Donald Trump that we haven't really heard a lot publicly from the committee during recess. Can you give us an update on what you've been doing and when we might hear more from your committee publicly?
Well, we're working away as it's a very active investigation. More information is coming in. As we announced, we will have at least one public hearing in September. We're also working on our report. So there's a lot going on when it comes to the former president. We're all observing these events, but it's not within the committee's purview. That's a DOJ matter. But we're hard at work. We meet virtually often, and we're hoping to wrap this up later this year with a full report for the public of what the truth is, as well as recommendations for potential changes to procedures and potential changes to laws that will make us less vulnerable to this kind of misconduct in the future.
Well, the headlines certainly have shifted to the Department of Justice and the raid at Mar-a-Lago. Can you give us any idea where you think your investigation and maybe even some things you're learning about the DOJ's investigation may intersect? And have you been in touch with them about the documents that were seized? Well,
we're doing separate investigations. We're a legislative committee. We have nothing to do with criminal prosecutions. We have not asked to see the documents. And if we did, I'm sure they would tell us no, as they should. There may be some overlap. It's impossible to know. But at this point, we're not operating under that assumption.
And since I'm here in Wyoming, I want to ask you about Liz Cheney, because I think it's fair to say you and Liz Cheney have extremely different voting records, and yet you've worked together on this committee for months now. We know the price she seems to be paying here where I am in Wyoming. But can you give us some insights into the sort of the big picture pressure you've seen her have to deal with in Washington, nationally, and what your thoughts are now about someone who is your colleague, but also your political opposite?
Well, you know, I didn't know Liz very well before we served together on this committee. And you're right. On the policy issues, there's very little overlap. She's very, very conservative voting record, and I don't have that voting record. But what I've found is a person who is smart, hugely hardworking, principled. She wants to get to the truth. She's tough, and I think she's fearless. I've really enjoyed working with her. And, you know, we know that we don't agree on choice and guns and a bunch of other things. That's not going to keep us from working together to get the truth when it comes to January 6th, the events leading up to it. So I really admire her.
You know, it sounds almost anachronistic in this particular political environment, Congresswoman, to hear you talk about two people who are so different politically, but working together, who have a common goal, can find ways to work together. And I know you're not going to comment on the DOJ investigation, but you have a lot more information, I'm sure, than even what we heard in the January 6th hearings about some other folks who I think have had some very tough decisions to make, and that are the witnesses who have come under threat. So when you hear DOJ saying that they're concerned about the safety of their witnesses, what goes through your mind based on your personal experience and your conversations with so many of the witnesses that you have had both behind closed doors and in public for your committee?
Well, I think the DOJ is absolutely right. The level of political violence and threats is accelerating and has been for some time. The former president utilized a mob knowingly. He knew they were armed and sent them to the Capitol to try and overturn the election. We've had a number of witnesses before the January 6th committee who've had to take measures to protect themselves from threats of murder and violence. I think it's a very serious matter. It's not the way our country should run. But right now, there's an element in the United States that thinks it's okay to threaten murder and mayhem for a political point of view. And those witnesses do need to be protected, as our witnesses have had to be protected.
Congressman Zoe Lofgren, we appreciate you coming on the program. Thank you.